Hi there, my name's Ray Chambers and I'm a teacher at Brook Western Academy in Corby, Northamptonshire. If you want to ever catch up with me or speak to me about any sort of things to do with coding or gaming or just getting your students into computer science, you can contact me on the Twitter at LankyBoyRay. And what I'm here today is to talk to you about an awesome opportunity for any of your students. So that's the reason why I'm recording this video, to kind of share it. But BAFTA do a Young Game Designers competition every year, and to enter the competition, all you do is you go to ygd.bafta.org, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that competition and how you can get your students involved. So I'm going to continue now. Now, I was very fortunate in 2015 to win the Young Game Design Mentor Award for pushing computing at my school, trying to get more students into it, and blogging, which is kind of why I want to share this opportunity with you. So if you're a teacher and you're doing something amazing, let people know about it. It's good to share good practice, and I'm here to again talk about this competition on behalf of BAFTA. So, what are the areas of the competition that you can enter? Well, young game designers, they are doing 4 areas to the competition. Now, every year they award somebody in the industry, whether it's a code club leader or whether it's a game designer that's encouraged somebody to get into computing, the Hero Award. That's previously been won by Minecraft and Media Molecule for things like Little Big Planet. So that's been really awesome. But what I'm going to talk to you today about is the Game Making Award and the Game Concept Award. So your students don't necessarily have to be awesome programmers to get involved. They could be really good at actually coming up with a design and coming up with a concept and sketching out the game. So don't let your students be put off if they find that they're not necessarily good at programming, because you can link this into your English curriculum in many ways. So the first thing in the pack that you'll notice if you go to ygd.bafta.org/resources is there's a card game, which is pretty awesome for actually building it into your lessons. So you get like a set of 10 cards in each section, and you mix them up and you get the students to pick a card, and it can come out with any random thing, and you've got to challenge them to see if they can come up with a concept for a game before they make it, whether they sketch it or whether they make it. So some of the ideas that I've come up with before, I'm just going to move on and show you these. So you've got a castle game that's come out from the environment. Then rules, you can't be seen. So it might be that there's a character around that you've got to hide from, and every time you pop up or get caught, you lose a life. It's going to be a role-playing game, so as if you're in this game. The goal, to capture something. You can decide what that is, and then we have these cards called wild cards, which I think are pretty awesome. And what they allow you to do is you pick it out at random, and it could be something like fruit, but in this case, is a magic spell, and then get the students talking and kind of come up with a concept. So I'm going to go through some of these other slides quite quickly. So you could have a space game, which you only have one life, but it's going to be a puzzle. So it could be something like Candy Crush, obviously not copyright. And you've got to find all the items within the puzzle. So maybe moving things around reveals hidden objects. And the wild card is there will be robots in your game. So coming up with a concept for that. What about inside a computer? You can't touch the floor, because if you touch the motherboard, you might spark a static shock which breaks the computer. You can make it educational, and you've got to remove the enemies. The enemies could be viruses. Then there could be something spooky inside the computer. Maybe you could have the ghost from Pac-Man in there. But be aware, you do need to be copyright aware, as many games in the past have been thrown out because they have used things from other people's games without permission. So the concept award winner last year, we had Imagibots. What a great idea. You can see the detail that has gone into the sketches, and that's really where you want to be going with this game. Actually show people what's going to be happening in your game. This concept was amazing. The idea was that it was in a virtual reality world and you couldn't see, and you only played the game based on what you hear. So you could move your arms to actually say to go right and left, and then depending on what you hear depends on how you move. So out there, I thought that was amazing. And I think for your students, you want to encourage them to think outside the box, think about where technology is going to go these days. Then there are the people that made the game. Now, I think what I really liked about last year's winners is last year's winner in the 10 to 14 category was just a text-based game. But the detail in it and the menus that you could go through and the animation that he did through loops was outstanding. And I think people always think that you have to go down this high-end graphics route, but if your concept's really good, then you can get a really good winning game. Then there was Daniel Smith, who made a game in the 15 to 18 category, and he did his game based around Unity, and it was pretty much a finished game, and you could go around rooms, push buttons, and it opened up doors. An amazing game. You can find out more about that on the website. So, what sort of things do you win? Well, a lot of the time it depends on who the partners are that get involved. But previously, Warner Brothers have been involved, and they have donated like a year's supply of games. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen this year, but there are so many amazing prizes. You get to go to an award ceremony and play each other's games and see the concept art. You can see here's all the winners from last year on the stage at the BAFTA venue. That's pretty amazing, don't you think? So you can get your students involved in this. So useful links. If you want to find out more, you can go to ygd.bafta.org and download those resources. It's just ygd@bafta.org if you want to find out any more information, and you can download that. But just so you can see as a teacher how to structure it, we've also put some lessons together. So lesson 1, we've got some game ideas. So that's where you play that card game to come up with your concept. Lesson 2 is looking at the goals, the rules, any rewards. How are you going to get from A to B? Actually thinking about some of the building blocks behind your game design. What about the design? We want you to think about the sort of objects and characters, and we want you to really sketch the detail. We should basically be able to pick up this game and make it. That's what your students need to be doing. What about the elements that make up the design? Lesson 5 could be a good one, because you could actually get your students to bring in some materials and actually record themselves banging on the tables, making sounds, and that could actually build itself into the game so that your students aren't copywriting other games. And also there's testing and marketing, so maybe you want to link that into a business studies lesson. And wrapping it up, getting the game ready and filling out the application form is what you would likely to be doing last. But there are lesson plans on the YGD website where you can find out more information and you can help your students. I mean, what I'm planning on doing with my students is a weekly session just to kind of check their progress and see how they're getting on. But I just wanted to produce this to help other teachers get this running in their school. So the competition deadline is 5 p.m. on the 3rd of May. Get your games in. It would be great to get as many games in as possible. And thank you for watching this. If you want more information, you can follow me at lanky_boi_ray. If this video was helpful and you want more computer science videos, subscribe below, and thank you for watching. See you soon.